What's going on, everybody? Today is Thursday, December 12th, 2024. We are just 2 weeks from Christmas Eve. It is a magical
Oh
time.
my god.
And yeah, I know. 2 weeks till Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
We are
wait,
here.
12, and that equals 24.
Wow! Look at that. Yeah, we're
Isn't
here to
that
talk
something?
about
All right.
We're
Today,
here to
math
talk-
takes a win.
We are here to discuss the latest episode of the Challenge 40 Battle of the Eras, episode 16, Must Win Era. So who won? Who lost? Let's talk about it. All right. Now, my name, of course, is John W. Judea, standing my queen, Mariah. I'm joined, as always, by my ride or dies, Mr. Kyle Petty Basal Wharton, and Miss Gina Morgino. How's it going, guys? How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
no
good. Good
complaints,
to hear.
no
Good
complaints.
to hear. All right, so we're all doing okay then. That's good. Good to hear.
How are
We're
you
scratching.
doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm okay. I'm all right. Making it
You had a
through.
nice day?
Yeah, had a pretty good day. Had a day off. Took a nice drive down to the beach. It
Oak
was very
Beach.
cold and windy. Oak Beach, yes. Took some pictures. It was a nice, relaxing afternoon. But I've been looking forward to talking to you guys all day. Because we're Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast, and we have all the good, fun takes here. So that's why we gather every Monday and Thursday. And I want to talk about this episode with you guys. We love the challenge, we do.
Oh.
But this season, man.
I was gonna say there's a butt coming.
Okay, here's my issue. Okay, we talked about this a little bit last week. This season started in August. Okay, it is now halfway through December.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Now we'll be getting another episode next Thursday, the 18th. But then I'm thinking to myself, all right, the next Thursday is Christmas, so we're not going to get an episode then. I don't think they're wrapping up this season next week. So does that mean
It doesn't seem like it.
Does that mean that this season is going into next year? Because why is a challenge season taking like 6 months to get through?
Yeah, it seems pretty unnecessary. Like, I was kind of hoping that, like, I was misinterpreting the next on and that this was going to be the final. Like,
You would have
going in.
said it though.
I know. Yeah, I know. I was trying to be positive, and like it just doesn't make good sense to me to Christmas the next week. Are we really going to have an episode on New Year's Day? Like, I have to imagine viewership is already down, and I can't imagine that it would like spike on New Year's Day. We have the Winter Classic. There's more important things going on that day.
Yeah. And it's a bummer to me because I feel like I like a lot of the people on the show. I still enjoy the show for the most part, but I feel like they're hurting themselves with the number of episodes, the fact that every episode is 90 minutes, and it feels like they're diluting their own content and making it more boring when we could do 60-minute episodes, and we could just have these more action-packed. And I feel like, I don't know. It feels like we had another 90-minute episode this week and nothing happened. But yeah. All right, let's get into the episode, though. I have one note prior to the Daily Challenge, and that's that last week, Jenny eliminated Aviv and then nominated Corey, Derek, and Jordan as targets. And then we had a Daily Challenge because I feel like all the footage before the Daily Challenge was like, oh, I really want to make it to the final. Yeah. Oh, I hope it's getting really hard now. The numbers are dwindling. It's like, yeah, things we know. Okay.
Right. I really wish they would just be honest with themselves. Like, because in the beginning, I really didn't mind the 90-minute episodes. Like, there was a lot going on.
There's so many people.
Yes, but these episodes were like, there's no chamber, there's no this, there's no that. It's like, can we just whittle this sucker down and just show a repeat of something else to make up for that half hour? Like, I understand that you have a programming block, and this is what has been allotted to the challenge, but can we just figure something out? Because it's draggy for no reason. I was walking around doing other things during a good chunk of this episode.
I didn't even think about that. Like a 90-minute episode when we have less than half the cast we started with, and there wasn't even a deliberation. Like,
yeah,
what did we do?
Like, of course, of course you're putting all this filler in, but like for why? Like you could just as easily have just like saved yourself the work and just made this an hour long episode and just
Or make it a
I don't know,
double or something.
like a double, show it a repeat of Daria. Like there's so many other options to fill in that other
A
30
repeat
minutes.
of
Like just don't
Daria.
include this. I reboot Beavis and Butthead. I mean, there's so many other things to do other than this.
Right, right.
A
Yeah.
repeat of Daria is crazy.
No, it's so true. Now, oh, Kyler, as a 37-year-old black male, Kyle, I complete respect to your dedication and repping Echo. There we go.
Listen, I rep Echo day in and day out. All right. Thank you for acknowledging. Fucking love Echo. We love you, Mark.
Now, as uneventful as this episode was, which seems crazy when you consider we're right on the doorstep of the final, and actually, just to Gina's point before, like half the cast, and when you think about it, it's actually even worse because we actually have half of the cast because we're down to 10.
Oh my god!
Started with 40, so
half of half.
Yeah. But there were still a couple of moments in this that I enjoy that I want to ask you guys about. So for the daily challenge itself, which was called Fire Plunge, we got a sponsor in this one.
Awesome.
And
we did. Yeah, we did.
We know that Kyle loves a sponsored comp. So what'd you think of this one, Kyle?
Honestly, I loved everything about this one. I thought the challenge was super fun to watch. I loved that Burger King was all over it. I love the license plate, flame grilled. This was just fantastic. Oh my god, it was so fun to watch. Do you not agree? Gina's making faces.
Oh no, I'm gonna be so real with you right now. This sponsored comp is proof that sponsored comps work because I watched this at my desk earlier today and literally all I could think about was I cannot wait to go home and get Burger King on the way home from work. Like, literally all I could think about was eating Burger King for dinner.
Yes, and I feel like the challenge does it right. Like we know that it's a little cheesy, we know that it's silly, and like everyone plays into that. But there was there was like some comment that Bananas made, like, "Oh, this was a whopper of a challenge."
Yeah,
like, yes, you all get it. It's so good. It's so good.
No, it worked like a charm. I ate so much Burger King for dinner.
Oh my gosh, what did you select? What did you have?
I had a double cheeseburger. I had
Yes.
the half fries, half onion rings.
Oh, you one of those girlies.
I love their onion rings so much. And then I got a 4-piece chicken fry.
Okay.
The chicken fries.
Sorry, I was acting excited, but I don't do chicken fries. Okay,
Oh,
that's
really?
not how God intended the chickens to be presented.
There was no 4-piece nuggie option, and I wasn't hungry enough for 8, so I had to go for the 4-piece chicken fry.
All right. You admit hungry. You admit hungry. Now, Burger King did have that Wednesday Whopper. Did anybody try the Wednesday Whopper?
Oh, was that the purple one or whatever?
Yeah, it did have a purple bun. I will say that was not that was cute. You know, I love purple. The bun was good because it was a potato bun instead of your regular white bread. But I think that the real hero of the Wednesday Whopper was the white cheddar. Okay, this is a Whopper with cheddar instead of American, and let me tell you, set things off real nice. Real nice. Okay, so I don't necessarily care about the purple bun. It was a nice touch, but that cheddar,
yeah, no, white cheddar
that really set things off really sweet. It sure did.
White cheddar is special, you know.
Oh yeah,
Honey
cheddar is special.
I am a white cheddar whore. That's what I am.
That also just made me think, can you imagine how good a White Castle burger would be with white cheddar? Get the hell out of here.
White Castle.
End stream. Go right to the living room.
White Castle.
Oh, man. But all right, so in this competition, also I have a question about this. I don't think it was the same car that they all used, right? So were they just dropping cars just to the bottom of this body of water?
Yeah, they were never wet. It's like, how many cars are in the bottom of this sea?
I also noticed on the steering wheel of each car, it had something different to cover whatever logo the car was too. Like Jordan just had like a very small piece of black tape. There was another car where like the entire steering wheel was covered. There was like another one that didn't have any tape on it, and I'm like, did they just find like 10 random like beaters
We're like,
and just
whatever.
just drop them into the bottom of this body of water here? Like,
Oh
are we clean?
wow. Yeah,
I
no,
hope
so
we're
I didn't
cleaning
notice
up
that
after
'cause I
I
was
didn't
ourselves.
notice
walking
either.
around. Yeah,
But
I was out and about. I was like, I get it. I don't need to keep watching. It's very fun, but I gotta go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but all right, so in this competition, each of our challengers would take their turns in a convertible where they'd have to solve a puzzle and then plunge off a 300-foot cliff in this car, then swim 500 meters to the finish line. Um, the winners of this would not only be, safe and all that, but they would also receive $5,000 courtesy of Burger King. So, Bananas had a 30-second penalty in this also, due to coming in last place in the previous daily challenge. And this one, honestly, I mean, Jordan killed it for the men. There was
Oh,
never a
God.
question. Yeah, there was never a question for me who won it for the men. It was Jordan. They really built up Rachel's time in the beginning. Was like, oh, like put up a savage time and this and that. And I thought that Rachel was going to be the winner until, of course, at the end, TJ announces that it was Tori that took the win, which I don't know, it felt weird to me the way it happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot about this that was weird to me. And like, it's also just, I
Kyle
don't know.
agrees.
Oh, Kyle agreed. I was like, what did he just say?
Nope, Kyle agrees.
About the Rachel seeming like she might have won, and then suddenly it's, oh, Tori did the best.
Yeah, it did feel weird, and like they could have done a better job like editing that and like the way that happened, because it didn't like feel good. It felt very, very much like there was some shenanigans, and
Sure.
Rachel was really having a hard time keeping her face together as TJ was like delivering these results. It's like, I don't know, there could be some shenanigans there.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. Like, Rachel was so like miffed about it for somebody that's been like dominating so many daily challenges the entire season. She was
Right.
particularly bothered by this one. And just, I don't know, something about it just felt off.
Yeah.
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 I just,
Couldn't
I
agree
felt
more.
like they kept showing Tori, like, talking about how bad she was going to do at the swimming, and she's, like, talking about how, like, I'm going to have to do the doggy paddle and this and that, and then it's like, all right, well, they made such an emphasis on how great Rachel did, and now, like, no fanfare for Tori, and Tori herself is, like, putting her own swimming ability down, and then it's like, nope, Tori did the best. It's like, I don't know, just the way it all played out felt a little weird.
Because it still feels like they're still setting Tori up to be the biggest female threat like ever, as if like we need to keep building her up, so even if like she didn't do that great, she's doubting herself, so like now we can kind of spin this as like, no, you're like a winner, because we don't know that Rachel's going to be back for 41, but we know that Tori's going to keep coming back.
Yeah,
because Rachel has a family. Like, this is not her top priority.
Right. And
so it just feels icky.
Yeah. And I mean, they're at 9 players left now with Corey being eliminated. So you figure if this was the last male elimination, there's probably only one more female elimination. And now, by giving Tori the win, you guarantee she makes the final. So.
Yep. And that's exactly what they always wanted.
Yeah.
I bet you people have it in their contracts that I have to make it to a final.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
How many times do we see the same people over and over and over again getting all the way to the end? That wouldn't shock me at all.
No. I mean, it happens in Long Island theater.
Yeah.
How does it not happen in like real TV with this real money involved?
I also like, not for nothing, and like maybe this is a hot take, maybe this is gonna ruffle some feathers, but it's like
ruffle them, squawk.
Like
That's the upset bird.
Not to like jump the gun too much on the end of this episode, but it's like he lost and didn't make a final, but I have so much more respect for Corey and Corey's game than I do so many of the people that are still in the game, because Corey had to earn his way this far. And you see so many of them never seeing an elimination, never getting their name called, just sitting pretty on the top and being like, yeah, this is going to separate the goods from the greats. And it's like, but you're not actually competing. Like, he fought tooth and nail to get here. And yeah, he lost on his 4th elimination, but he won the previous 3. I respect that game more than somebody that never sees an elimination and gets a straight ride to the final.
Yeah. And I think too, like, you know what's funny to me is that like some of the other people, like you said, a lot of them skate by, don't get put into elimination. But even when they do, like a bananas, right? It's this temper tantrum that gets thrown. It's
Mhm.
like Corey, like, yeah, he'll try to fight for himself and try to keep himself from going in. But it's like if it happens, he tries to just get in the right mindset, get the job done, go in and try to win the elimination. Where I feel like if it's a bananas or if it's a Tori or a Josh or some one of these like bigger names that's like a diva, it's like they have to throw this tantrum, like, how could you do this to me? And blah, blah,
Banana
blah.
throws a shit fit. Banana throws a shit fit if somebody calls his name. And like we saw, I don't remember if it was 1 season ago, 2 seasons ago, his name was called one time. And he went on a tirade throughout the house. And it was like, my guy, you're not entitled to not have your name called. Like,
Yeah.
that's the game.
Kyle, what do you got over there?
Oh man, there's so many things. So many things were said. I agree with Kyler. I think that's possible. I never thought about that, but I definitely do think it's possible that they'll
This
give
comment here, right? The
bonuses in
bonuses.
people's, yeah, bonuses in people's stipend if they leave the priority players alone. I think
Mm,
that's certainly
I never
like
thought about that
super
either.
possible. Yeah, I didn't think about that either. Like that, I think that's very interesting and certainly super possible. Um, in response to what Gina said there about Banana's game, I think that's just also just like his game. His entire game is intimidation. Like, be too scared to put me in. If you put me in, I'm going to wreak this havoc. And if I win this elimination, hopefully the havoc that I have wreaked here on you will prevent others from putting me in. Like, that's
Mm.
always been like his formula. So, like, that's not how I would play the game. But I do respect that, like, no one else seems to have clocked this and they just keep going with it. I feel like there was another point in there though, and like I
Was it
got
the
so
Corey
wrapped
thing?
up in. Yes, thank you. I have so many mixed feelings about that because I hear you. I don't completely disagree, but does that also mean that we are devaluing the people who have a strong social game? Coming from a Big Brother environment, I don't really want to leave that to the wayside. You know, there is certainly something to be said. Like, I don't like Michelle because of some of the things that she says, but I think she plays the game well and that she finds a way to navigate around to make sure she doesn't go down. Like, she knows that's where she's weaker and she's stronger socially and she kind of works that angle. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Corey does deserve a great deal of respect for how he got to where he was, being cut right before the final. So like I don't want to say that to say that Corey doesn't deserve it. That's
Sure.
why I put his name in my name, because I do think that's worth something, and that is not a knock to Derek. Okay, because you need to put some respect on Derek
Oh.
Chavez's name, right? Say the full government name when you're talking about my baby. He deserves that. And it's like, but Corey did have his back up against the wall the entire time. And I think that is a result of a not strong social game. I don't think he navigates that very, very, very well. I think that he had a great alliance and a relationship with Nelson because they have a very close relationship outside the game. But everybody else he doesn't seem to connect with, and that's a problem, and that will continue to be a problem if he doesn't figure out why that is. Like, I don't know why people don't want to work with him because I and John, I know you know the history a little bit better, but like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like once Corey says that he's working with you, I don't really think he burns people.
I think that he's always been the one that was burned, never the one that
Right. So I
did
don't
the burning.
understand why people don't want to work with him. And like that hasn't been clear to me. Like it seems to me like this is a person who is capable of winning. And we saw that from the eliminations that he saw. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you want to work with him? Like he was
Yeah.
extremely loyal to Nelson in
Yes.
every season that they played together. So like I think he's displayed all of those things. I just don't really get his road should not have been so rough.
Right. And I feel like it's weird too because like I know he's never won, so like he doesn't get the hype that some other players get. But like we heard him say it in this episode this week that like going into this season, Corey has made it to 5 finals in 10 seasons. He's been in a final half of the seasons he's played, which is a lot better track record than a lot of other players. And
Hmm.
now,
Hmm.
obviously, being knocked out at this point, it's 5 out of 11. But still, it's like the guy knows how to compete. I mean, and I know we don't want to celebrate and give trophies out for second place or third place or whatever, but like even the fact that tonight, like Corey was talking about, I say tonight because I watched the episode today, but during this episode, we saw Corey talking about how like he's gone to finals and placed higher than Johnny Bananas before. Johnny Bananas, if one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time, he's won 7 championships, right? But if you can say that you've gone to finals and performed better than Johnny Bananas and a handful of those, like that puts you up there as like a very good competitor and a contender to win the game. And I don't, so like you said, I don't know why people don't want to work with Corey year after year, it feels like.
However, Kyler's comment is interesting and does shed a little bit of light on another side to this argument. The BB social game is fine because it's a season. Jordan had dated 4 or 5 women in the house and is friends with half the others. What exactly can anyone in Era 4 do to challenge that? I think that's really, really fair.
And that's one of my issues too, is like a lot of the quote unquote social game is just the fact that these people have played with the same like 5 people how many freaking seasons. Yeah, they're not going to burn each other, they're not going to call each other's names. It has nothing to do with like necessarily a social game so much as they just have so much social history that like they're not going to name each other. So like I don't necessarily, and for some of them they are playing a great social game, but I wouldn't consider that to be the sole reason why they're not seeing eliminations.
That's so good. That's so good, because what I was going to say to this is that like, Jordan dating 4 or 5 women and now friends with half the others, that actually speaks to maybe his social game, in the fact that like I look, the vast majority of my exes would not vote to keep me in the house. So like that definitely does mean something. The fact that Jordan has not drawn the ire of his exes, right? But like the other side to that is, oops, already forgot your point. Say it again.
Social history, same people. It's not social game. It's
social history. That's the difference. The history is not necessarily the same as the game, right? Because when we talk about having a social game, that means we have a mutually beneficial exchange of talents, benefits, tasks, whatever it is. Like we can find an advantage within each other, how you navigate. But if I have this history with you that now makes me feel guilty about doing something against you, that actually doesn't speak to your social game, does it?
Right.
It's really speaking to obligation. I guess it speaks to your social game if you engage in these relationships with the intention being that later on you'll be paying me off in here. Do we really think that he's that calculated? Different conversation. We know that Jordan is the person who likes to win. Certainly not impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's been more my issue.
Can we remember that social history and social game? That's really, really interesting to dive into when you're talking about these relationships, because that is very, very specific to the challenge environment.
Yes.
Like you don't get that in Big Brother or Survivor. So, because a lot of our conversations, at least from my point of view, I've always stated that as being a plus to your social game. It's not necessarily game though. No, it's not game. There's just certain things we don't do to people that we've known for an extended period of time that we share an affection with. Oh my God, that's so good. Like I want to start rewatching some seasons of the challenge to watch with a different pair of eyes, because some people got some credit they didn't deserve. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's really good. Okay, really astute observation.
Yeah.
Thank you. And now I'm going to bed.
And now time to be horizontal. Thank you.
Yes, now, night.
Oh man. All right. So yes, we said Jordan and Tori won this daily challenge, fire plunge. It was funny to me how like disappointed in Cara Maria that Rachel was over her very poor swimming ability. I don't know that
Rachel
just
was really mad.
yeah. Rachel was like really annoyed. It was like the exact quote was Rachel was like, "It looks like she's literally joking out there, like she's treating it as a joke. This whole
Which is like
swim,
so ridiculous because we know Kara. Kara is not gonna joke about like an elimination or a challenge rather that's right before a final. Like she
right,
know
right,
she can count. She knows how many people are left. Like it's
right,
definitely around the corner. Like that is not Kara, but like
yeah,
it really does speak to how poorly she did here.
And I was like,
The
some of
fact that
us are swim. Damn.
right, it's just because like Rachel has sung her praises earlier in the season.
right,
Like, you
right,
know, she's a badass competitor, like blah 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 blah. All of a sudden now you think that she's joking. No, maybe that's some of Kara's insecurity showing through,
Sure.
and she's making a joke out of the fact that
Self-deprecation, yeah.
she knew she was weak in that moment. Like, but Rachel was like big man.
yeah, right, right. Like it stuck out to me, like, but
Yeah.
now the other thing I wanted to just mention briefly about this challenge was Kylan's performance. Now, Kylan is fantastic as a challenger.
Mhm.
I think he's a great addition to the show.
Mhm,
I think
mhm.
that if he does not win this season, he is going to win a season very soon because he's very good. He's very well rounded, but
Oh yeah, hands down. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, but he was
Mm.
not very good in the swimming portion of this daily challenge. And I was wondering, is this the first time that we've seen Kylan swim in one of these challenges? I don't remember in the past if he has or not. And also, like, is this his
If
really
he has, he
only
didn't do this bad.
right? Like, this seems like
Yeah.
is swimming. Could this be his only real true weakness as a challenger? And it seems like it could be. But I also feel like if it was a weakness in this season, the next time we
It
see him on
won't
the
be
challenge,
next
it won't be
time.
it won't be a weakness anymore.
Absolutely not. That will be
Yeah, he will make sure.
110% corrected. All right, absolutely. I'm surprised we have not already seen reels and posts from Kylan at the Y doing laps.
The why? He's
At
like
the Y.
he's literally at a swimming lesson as we speak.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Splash, splash. Split splash, if you
yeah,
will.
yeah. Um, all right. The only other thing to mention really is so with Jordan winning, he was one of the targets this week. So with Jordan winning, we knew he would be safe, not going to elimination. Derek came in dead last, so we knew that Derek would automatically be going in. With a
Yeah.
target both losing and winning the daily challenge, that meant that there was only one target remaining. So as we mentioned earlier, no chamber needed. We knew right away that this would be Derek versus Corey in the elimination.
Mm.
Cara Maria came in last for the women, so we know she'll have a penalty for the next daily challenge. All right. We saw a little Burger King feast. That was nice. They were enjoying their munchies. And then we started getting into just sort of, we knew that was Corey and Derek. So pretty much up until the elimination, we had some conversation between the two of them, sharing mutual respect for each other. And then we had a lot about Derek and his sister, which honestly, it definitely hit for me.
Did we know this already? Did he talk about this on All Stars?
You know what? I'm not
I don't
sure.
remember it.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
don't
didn't
remember
remember it
it at all.
either.
Yeah, this felt very new to me.
yeah. If it was brought up, it certainly had. I guess I noticed it more. If this isn't the first time we're hearing
If
it,
it
like
was
it definitely
mentioned,
had
it
more of an
definitely wasn't
impact.
in this much detail. But
Exactly.
I feel like because he was saying it happened so close to All Stars, we would have heard about it. But I don't remember it.
Well, although was this so he said I think All Stars 2, right? But he was on All Stars 4 also. So
Oh, is that what he said?
I think he said that this had occurred because I believe it was in 2021 that Derek's sister.
I thought it was much more recent than that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like this past
yeah.
All Stars.
But yeah, I mean, listen, Derek. Since the last time we saw him on All Stars, he became a bigger favorite of mine to the point where I took him, I think, third in our draft. And we went men, I think men, women, men. So Derek was my second pick for
Yeah.
the men out of this like all-star cast that we had. Like, I've been a big Derek fan, and this just made me more endeared to him because, like,
Mm-hmm.
what a like difficult thing to go through, and like
Mhm.
just as somebody that's has had close friends that have attempted or have committed or my own self who's had his own issues with depression and then working through things like this definitely hit hard and hit home for me. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, I love Derek. I really do. And I just hope he really does really well. So um,
You could, it was palpable how much this all motivated him in this episode too.
Mm-hmm.
Like how
100%.
much it drove him.
So um, but all right.
I'm super
Uh,
proud of him. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see him in this final. I can't wait.
yeah,
So
because
excited.
with him
Yeah.
beating Corey, as we said, this is probably the last male elimination. So I can't wait to see Derek just go all out in the final. Really.
Yeah. Me too.
But let's get to the elimination that got Derek there. So this one was called Closing Time. Um, and
Closing time.
yeah, that's what I thought of too, actually. Um, but in this elimination, players would spin a wheel to raise a guillotine-like door, which they would then have to race under to collect heavy cinder blocks, and then build an image, a puzzle that had two sides, and on both sides it should say the challenge 40. So a bit of a combination here between the physical and the mental side of things, and
Mhm.
both of our competitors, both Corey and Derek, had completely different strategies in this. Um, and Derek, he did fantastic. I mean, like,
Nailed it, dude.
yeah, and Corey is, he did pretty well too. He just had the wrong strategy, but he was moving those cinder blocks like four at a time.
He
But
Mhm.
sure was.
I
Yeah.
was impressed with Derek though too. He was moving like three at a time at one point. So
Yes, he was.
yeah,
And them suckers are heavy.
yeah,
I saw at one point he only took
Mhm.
one. I was like, same girl, me too. I'd be like, you know what?
I'm
Give me a break.
tired.
yeah. But I think it was great because it was all strategic, like it was like,
Yeah.
I feel like there were moments where he only took one, but it was like, he knew that that was the piece he needed to like maybe build a certain part
It
of
was
it.
a
And it's like,
really, really smart way to
yeah.
go about
And
it.
it's a way to take a rest too. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll take three this time, only one this time. And then I'll take maybe three next time or two or whatever. So
Yeah, 'cause
Derek,
it's endurance just as much as it is anything else.
yeah. And Derek did a great job. I just felt bad for Corey losing because he worked
Mhm.
so freaking hard this season. Um, uh, and it sucks to take that hit from my team.
Mhm.
You know what else I was thinking, by the way? This was a fun elimination and all, but I would have loved to have seen Derek and Corey in the elimination that Corey did against Josh.
That was the
Because,
hay bales and the
yeah, because I
yeah.
know that Josh is a bigger dude than Derek, so like the size, comparison was similar between the two, or at least more similar. But Corey was just so much faster than Josh that
Yeah,
like it
yeah, yeah.
wasn't that entertaining. But Derek is so fast that I actually feel like seeing Derek and Corey in the elimination that Corey did with Josh could have been like a very fun, interesting matchup in that one. Even though
Mhm.
there's a size difference, like Derek, I think might be the fastest challenger in the whole cast. So I thought that could have been an interesting matchup in that one. But it's just still a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. It stung a little bit to watch the video of Cheyenne saying to Corey like,
Oh my
"Oh, don't
god,
be
I
gone for
know.
a month and a half and just come home with
Yeah.
nothing."
Well,
And that's exactly what
as soon as I
happens.
saw that clip, I said, "Oh no, he's going home."
But I also didn't know what to think because there were also clips with Derek, like talking to his brother, whoever that was, saying like, "Oh, if this is physical, I'm gonna have a problem." And
Mhm.
like the way that it was being stacked was like, Derek, we're so proud of him. It's kind of sounded like, this was his tribute to him because he
Mhm.
was leaving. I hate to give any kind of credit to the fact it was a 90-minute edit because it didn't need to be, but I will
Mhm.
say that the way that they toggled that, I really didn't know what to expect from this elimination.
Yeah.
Like there was a moment
They
that I was
did
like,
both
I
have those,
realized,
like, heartfelt moments.
yeah, and Corey, there was a moment where Corey was like behind, but I was like, maybe he picks this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, really didn't know what to expect there, and well, it played out the way that it was kind of looking,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep. So unfortunately, just before the final, Corey gets eliminated. We know he'll be back. Come on. We can't go too long without Corey. We know he's always right around the corner. Oh, I just realized, Kyle, that your name is now Kyle Petty Basal Wharton Young.
Oh man, when did you do that?
Yeah, I just wanted to do the right thing. I wanted to do the right thing.
When did that
happen? Probably about like 10 minutes ago.
Okay, so Derek wins. Derek has to name targets. We knew even before the elimination that if Derek had won, that Jenny and Rachel would definitely be getting nominated. But it was a little bit of a tougher decision for Derek between Cara Maria and Michelle for the third target, until we found out that before the elimination, Cara Maria, this late in the game, decided to volunteer to be
when
the
she's
target.
already got a disadvantage in the next.
Why? Like, why?
Unless this late in the game, when she came in last and has a disadvantage for the night, like the odds are not.
Like, unless you're sure. I mean, unless there was something we didn't see where she like heard like that Derek was leaning towards keeping Michelle safe, so let me just like volunteer myself and like look like a good person helping you out or something. Like maybe someday down the line you'll repay me or something. Like, I don't know. Like, but like it just feels like you are at the end stage, like the pointy end of this game. Maybe one more female elimination, and you're volunteer. You might get named anyway, but don't volunteer. Sure. Don't volunteer yourself.
Yeah. I always like to try to play devil's advocate. I really don't get it here. Like, unless again, it just speaks to Derek's social game and what he is to these people. And like, no one wants to put him in a bad situation. No one wants to upset him. Everyone just wants him to like feel good. And whether that's intentional or not, it is laying the groundwork for a great social game. No one wants to upset you, intentional or not. People like you enough to like volunteer themselves so that you don't have a rough go. Mm-hmm. Way to go, Derek.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right that there is something to that. I mean, we saw what Derek, it was super, super close with Olivia, right? Like best friends or whatever. And I know
the way that the challenge says best friends.
The term best, I literally was friend, like, Kyle. I know. The term best friend is thrown out a lot, but I feel like wasn't she
so much?
Wasn't it like she was eliminated? So Michelle was like, "Oh, well, I have to save Derek because I can't name him as a target because of his relationship with Olivia." So, like, I guess in a way, you're repaying that as well. Did anybody else think it was funny the Hail Mary that Jenny tried to throw up, being like, "Oh yeah, I remember like 3 months ago during the team stage when the team could have voted in you or whoever else, and we saved you. Like, can you save me now?" Like,
listen, poor girl's gonna try she's gonna throw
shit
in a wall and see what sticks. All right, she's fighting for her life in there.
Like, Jenny, nobody remembers what you're talking about.
I really like Jenny, but she is not good at the social end of this.
No.
She is so bad. Like, she has no idea what's going on. She needs to go back. She needs to watch Big Brother or Survivor. She needs to watch something that like has the social element at the forefront, not the physicality of things. Sure. So she understands better how to navigate through these things, because Jenny don't get it. She does not get it.
Poor girl.
And all of her like angel puns that she was using throughout this episode too just shows me how juvenile your social thinking is. Like, everything that she said about being part of like, Bananas Angels or whatever they call themselves, it just felt very like elementary. Like, she's just so excited just to be a part of it. And it's like, we need you to not be so excited, and we need you to just think about yourself and think about what you're bringing to this team and what they're bringing to you. Jenny, I need you to be more analytical. Stop being so wrapped up in.
I know, she's like, someone wants to work with me.
Exactly. Stop it. Cut that out. You need to let's get down to business. Somebody wants to work with you because you add value to their game. So do not work with them unless they're adding value to yours. And you need to start learning. Jenny, listen to this. Jenny, what's going on, Jenny? Jenny.
Excuse me, Jenny.
Because she could go a lot further in this if she understood the social end of things. I think
Yeah.
that's always been her biggest thing because everyone's scared of her.
Yeah.
You need to find a way to let that manifest itself socially and not be attaching yourself. This season it worked because of the male female element and who's selecting targets and what's going on. But like this riding on people's coattails thing is not going to work. If this was a female that she was doing this with, she would have failed already. She would have been long gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So and it does give the illusion that she's working this game well, but we know Jenny. We know she's not. So that's happenstance. She didn't align herself with Bananas because she knew that was smart because of the male female component. No, she aligned herself with him because he's an icon in this world, and she thought it just made some sense.
Yeah. She had to. Like, she had to. And Bananas, I think, formed his angels. Not that he was the one that was like, "Hey, you three, come work with me," and they were all just like, "Yeah, sure."
Mm.
Like, it did happen
Okay.
somewhat organic. I think they were all kind of pushed to each other. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I just
it
want Jenny
wasn't.
to be better about that because she has a lot more value than just that. And she can go further if she understood the rest of the game.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, Jenny.
Mm-hmm. Jenny girl.
So we found out we are not at the final yet. We have 9 players left, but we are not sticking around in Vietnam for one more elimination. We are moving on. TJ tells us that the next time he sees everyone, it will be a lot less green, which to me meant we were going somewhere cold.
Mm-hmm. I had the same
That's what
note.
I thought.
Yeah, but then in the next on, we find out there's a location change, and it looks like they're somewhere tropical. So I don't know what. I don't really know what TJ's
Yeah.
talking about. It still looks
There's
pretty
like a
green.
boat in the water, and like they're like, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Unless, of course, is it possible that that was just like a little like editing trick? Like maybe the first half is like the last female elimination, and then after that is like the
Maybe.
final. That's such wishful thinking. They're not going to do that much in 90 minutes. They're not.
Yeah.
Let me stop that.
No,
Maybe
the
they
final
just
is going to be 4 episodes long.
yeah, it just seems so
God.
random to move them when you know there's another elimination coming before the final. That you're going to move them just to send one female home
Right. Well,
right away.
that's what in the arena there down in the sand. TJ said after that elimination, he said, "The next time you see me, it'll be a lot less
Yeah,
green," which means like
that
they're
just seems so
leaving now. Like,
stupid. Right,
yeah, I
right.
don't get it.
That's yeah, I don't get it either.
Um, but yeah, so the next on, what we saw was we get a location change at Final 9. The final's almost here, right around the corner. We get one more daily challenge and one more elimination, according to TJ. We saw Jenny just totally gassed out. And then we saw a big old gross rusty boat in the middle of the water. And that's it.
A decrepit thing,
yeah.
they said.
Decrepit.
And that's what we know is coming up. So that's all I got, honestly. Actually, I had one other question. Do you ever find yourself in like a moment of quiet contemplation and reflection, just thinking, just kind of thinking about Mariah's like miraculous
Oh, I
thighs?
knew that's what you were going to say. I knew that's what you were going to say.
I knew it was going to be stupid, but I didn't know what it was going to be.
No, the second he started talking, I was like, if he says Mariah, I swear to God.
You'd ever just sit and think about her thighs?
Can't
Not
say
for
that
a
I do,
single
John.
second.
Can't say that I do.
Not for one moment. Not any more than you think about Ferris's package.
Oh.
See, this is why I'm so glad that Kyle's back because
Whoa.
because on
I'm not
Monday, no, you are fun. But on Monday, I said my name was John Dunphy Wright because I was standing Sierra, from Survivor 47, and I said I was standing the sexy Sierra, and Gina and Mikey were like, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, and I'm like, you guys suck.
Where are my physical people?
You
Who's
know?
in it for the sex?
Yeah. That's what we're here for.
Stupid, so stupid.
Yeah, but
Listen,
anyway.
sometimes I want to give a kiss.
Oh, please. All right, what do we have coming up? This Monday, right? This Monday we'll be talking Survivor 47, the first part of the finale.
16th.
That's the 16th, yeah. Oh wait, are we? What are we doing? What's going on this week?
Is it a weird week?
What do you mean?
I guess it's not, right? I don't know. It's just December is throwing me off.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's holiday parties, and I think they're having a work party for us on the 17th. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. So I guess we'll be back the 16th to talk Survivor 47, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, part 1 of the finale, which was crazy. I haven't watched it yet, but I did get spoiled. So,
I also got spoiled, and
Yeah.
obviously I can't say what I want to say because we're not all spoiled, but I have something to say.
yeah.
Not only am I not spoiled, I also still have not watched the episode from the 4th.
Wow. That was a good one.
Honestly,
So I'm like way behind.
yeah,
It's a really good one.
It was a really good one, and from what I'm hearing, this last one last night
A doozy.
was also a good one. Yeah, so
Okay. I'll catch up this weekend for sure.
So,
I would love to join you
yeah.
all on the 16th.
2 people left last night.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so that'll be Monday, and then next Thursday we'll be back for more Challenge 40. Who knows if we'll be talking about the final or or what? Who knows? But I think that's it. All right. So find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yes, you will.